Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera to everyone. So my name is Alif Akmal Yusof. My metric number is S56443 and today I want to represent about my proposal to set up seaweed farming system for subject AQU 4106 seaweed culture. So my group choose Vietnam as our location to set up the seaweed culture. Okay, for the introduction, as you know, the first seaweed farming began in Japan as early in 160-70 in Tokyo Bay. But in Vietnam, it was started since 2004, and the first seaweed that most popular at that time is Seaweed. The first grown in the Vietnam is in coastal Can Hoa province, and the local area of the plant has been expanded to produce enough for export. So now, Vietnam has about 1,000 hectares of seaweed with more than 100,001 ton of fresh seaweed, and it grew to the most coastal area of northern Vietnam and the north central coastal region and the south central coastal region. Okay, for the objective, my objective to set up this seaweed farm is to provide an overview of the state of the art in seaweed farming and a contribution to the seaweed industry future growth. Okay, for the title project, I was named this project the superior culture of seaweed sargassum aquifolium species. This is because my seaweed that I chosen to culture is sargassum species. Okay, so we move to the selection of farm site and location. Okay, I have choose the location at Binh Dinh province, Vietnam. For the specific location is Tai Nai Marsh, Dam Thi Nai, Vietnam. So the reason why I choose this location is because first, it has typical feature of tropical coastal lagoon which play a role in regulating floods and balancing groundwater. Second, it has a sustainable aquaculture which is have a lot of another culture such as crab culture, oyster culture and fish market. Okay. For the third reason why I choose this place is it is now as a tourist center place which is tourists from another country come to visit because it has a beautiful scenery at the place. Okay, so this is the example of the location at Vietnam. Okay, for the organization chart of company, the first one we have the owner, which is me, myself. Then we have a chief executive officer, which CEO. Then under the CEO, we have IT technician. We function as system and data. Then we have encounter manager, and under the encounter manager we have marketing manager which function as marketing and social media. Then under CEO we have hatchery manager which function as handle the hatchery, and below that we have staff, and we have a farm manager which function as take care of farm. Okay. Okay, for the species that I have choose for this culture is Sargassum aquifolium species. For the taxonomy classification, the genus of this species is Sargassum, the family is Sargassaceae, and the phylum is Ochophyta, and the kingdom is Cosmista. Okay, we move to the habitat of the species. Basically, Sargassum is a brown macroalgae genus belonging to the Phocalis order. These species are found across the world temperate and tropical ocean, where they mainly occupy shallow water and coral reef. Then, for the morphology, this species have many leafy appendage, branches and round berry-like structure that make up the plant. Okay, the blades are usually large, microscopic and brown color. Usually, the growth of primary lateral is unlimited. For this species, it has a unique morphology, which is called the berries. This berries is also called air bladder, which are actually gas-filled structure called pneumatosis, which are filled mostly with oxygen. This pneumatosis function as add buoyancy to the plant structure and allow it to float on the surface. When sargassum lost its buoyancy, it will sink to the seafloor and providing energy in the form of carbon. Okay, we move to the sexual reproduction. For this species, it has two sexual reproduction, which is male and female. For the male, the name of the sexual reproduction is called Atridium, and while female we call it Eugenia. Okay, for the life cycle of this species, the reproduction cycle begin with the formation of the female and male sex organ Eugenia and Antheridia. Then, Each antheridium produces 64 sperm that are released into the surrounding seawater to swim by itself to a nearby eggs for fertilization. Then, each oogonium extrudes one egg encased in mucilage, which is the mucus, through an opening. So, this mucus functions as allow to the egg to remain attached to the receptacle of the parent plant through fertilization and sometimes germination of the new zygote. After fertilization, the free-floating form have developed a life cycle that occurs entirely within the open ocean with no need to become attached to a substrate. Okay, after we know a little bit about our seaweed, we move to the type of cultivation technique. I have choose an open ocean system as my cultivation. So, before we culture, we must know the environmental parameter for this species, right? So, this is the parameter for my species, which is Agassiz species, which is temperature is 18 to 13 Celsius and salinity is 24 to 42 and light saturation is 115. So after we know, we move to the step of the culture. Okay, I divide the culture to the three steps. First is seedling, and second is nursery, and step 3 is farm culture. Okay, okay, we go to the step 1, which is seedling. Okay, first, the thing to do in seedling part is to initiate culture. So, the matured parents plant are collect. Then it's transported to a seawater pond or greenhouse nursery where they are placed in concrete tank with filtered seawater and gentle aeration. Next, mature male and female plant are mixed in 1:1 ratio and exposed to the late spring for fertilization. After fertilization, female plants with attached zygote are removed from the tank and further cultured in aerated container in filtered seawater, where zygote are collected for seeding. After that, the collected embryos in suspension were pinned onto the seed frame with brain brush, which is called frame brush seeding method. After the attachment period, seed frames are hung vertically in culture tanks, and the seedling of these were reared in an indoor tank for 19 days. After the seedling, we move to the tank nursery and ocean nursery, which is step 2. The new seedling are cultured under ambient light and temperature in greenhouse tank, with close providing shade on day of full sun. This tank-based nursery period can be as long as 3 to 5 months as juvenile develop over the summer. Then, the ocean nursery is a portrait area consisting of rows of long line where seeded frames are hung horizontally. At the open water farm, the seed string is transferred to a horizontal long line with a wheel that winds the string along the length of the line in a spiral fashion. The long line are placed at approximately 1 to 2 meter deep and cultivate to the following spring. Okay, so this is the design of ongoing poultry farm, which is a long line method. Okay, uh, we move to the duration of cultivation. Okay, the duration is usually take time to April to January, which is April until June is for initial culture, while June to August is seedling and fertilization process. Then August until December is depend on the growth path, and December and January is harvesting. Okay, for the harvesting technique, harvesting may be done by pruning the branch and leaving portion of the plant to grow again, or by taking all the plant and replacing them with the new cutting, which is best done before each plant reach 1 kg or after 45 to 60 days. From the harvested plant, the best looking plant are selected for use as seedling for the next planting. Then, harvested seaweed are placed in bamboo basket in the buncher, then it will sold raw at the market for the add value. Okay, this is the cost for the cultivation. The estimate budget for this culture is 30,000. When we change to the Vietnam's currency, it will be 74,000 Vietnam dong. So, this cost is include fixed cost, production cost, depreciation cost, emergency cost, and staff cost. So, for the potential risk of the cultivation, The biofouling and predatory organism can cause problem in all stages of cultivation. Other algae and invertebrate can attach to the sargassum as well as the culture line competing for space and resource. To avoid this potential risk, maintenance of farm was needed. The thing to do is visit the farm regularly, keep plants clean by removing mud and rough seaweed, essential to remove fish and other sea elements that may feed on the seaweed, and lastly, check and prune the disease-infected portion of the plant. By the end of the product, I will send directly, which is raw seaweed. Okay, we've moved to the advantage of product to be sold. For the suggestion species, it a lot of advantage when we sell. The first one that we can do with the suggestion species is paper product. Some of the product that are being made with sargassum are notebook and paper. By we use sargassum, it can avoid for the use of tree. Then we have fertilizer. It become a natural fertilizer and herbicide to improve the harvest of products such as corn, chili and beans. Other than that, from the sargassum, we also can do a breeds. Sargassum also can be make a medicine. This is because sargassum contain physocolloids and bioactive compound, which is have potential in nutraceutical and medical application. Okay, for the discussion, by provide an overview of the state of the art in seaweed farming, the integrated seaweed farming system have proved can be more efficient and profitable. Even though seaweed farming has a very promising future in Vietnam, it faces a number of challenges, particularly outdated harvesting, preservation and processing technology to ensure good product quality. So, this is my reference and that's all from me. Thank you.